Hi everyone, Jo from Tradie WAGS here. I just wanted to spend a little bit of time today going through Xero Expenses. Xero Expenses is an add-on to the Xero program, which does cost a little bit of extra money, but it can be a valuable tool for your business. Some of you will have noticed of late that Xero is giving us a 3-month free trial of Xero Expenses, so I thought it was a great opportunity to explore how this program works and whether it's right for your business. Xero Expenses costs $5 for the subscription per month, which allows one user, and then it's an extra $5 for each additional user after that. It is designed for those people who are out on the road and need to capture their receipts while they're out buying tools or petrol or whatever it might be, and it gives us a nice easy way to get that information straight into our Xero program without us having to go and fish around the bottom of our tradies' floors of their cars to find the receipts. So let's have a look at how it works. Business expenses is found up here under the business tab under expense claims. Now, if this is the first time you're using this, it will take you through a setup tutorial. However, because this is a demo model, it has already been set up. So what I'm going to do is just show you the questions that it is going to ask. The settings can always be changed and they're all found over here in the little settings cogwheel. The first question that we'll ask is, do you want to enable receipt analysis? Now, because this is a add-on that is used with your mobile, what you do is once you have access is you download a program from the App Store called Xero Expenses. When you do, then it allows you to take a photo of your receipt and to upload that directly into the Xero program on your computer. If you enable receipt analysis, it does give you then it will actually allow the app to try and read as much of the receipt as it possibly can. So it only works for the mobile app. It doesn't work if you upload the information directly into the Xero program from a scan or from an email or something like that, but it does work with the mobile app. To do that, when you do take the photo, it will give you the option to save for later or to submit straight away or to process straight away. If you save for later, that's when enable receipt analysis works. If you process straight away, you'll have to manually enter the information into the app for it to come through into the Xero program. The next part that it will ask you about is the users, and as this is also a demo model, I don't have access to show you how to set up a new user, but it's very simple. You simply select the people in your user profile, in your user list for your program, and choose which ones you wish to give access to expenses, and then you have to select which level of access you want to give them. There are 3 levels. The first is submitter, which basically just allows you to take a photo and submit your expenses to Xero. The second level is approver, which allows you to submit but also to approve expenses for payment. And the third level is admin, and admin allows you to do all 3. You can submit, approve, and then also use all of the functionality within the Xero Expenses program to pay or to edit or whatever it is that you need to do. The next question is about accounts, and in your Xero chart of accounts you'll have loads of different accounts, and not all of these are going to be relevant for expenses. So what it does is it allows you to drill down just to allow those accounts that would be relevant to show in the app. So you can choose which ones you can allow your staff to put expenses to. The last part, which is optional, is labels. Now, labels you do not have to use, but you might find that every so often you've got a collective group of expenses and you want to keep track of that. So you can set up a new label and apply that to the expense, just so that you have the ability to keep track of that particular thing. So, for example, I've set up here a label for a Xero Brisbane conference. If I'm traveling and I want to know how much I spent on that trip, I can go back and have a look at my label and find out what has been assigned to that. So let's head back to the expenses module itself, and you'll see that there's a lot of different tabs along the top, and depending on your level of access you won't be able to see all of these, but as admin I can see all of them. So the first tab is your own, which shows you what you have submitted and what status it's up to. So at the moment we have one submitted invoice that hasn't been approved yet. We've got one sitting here in approved. We also have a draft, which I will show you as a demonstration purpose on how to enter a receipt in a moment. As an approver, I can see what is sitting there for me to review, and I have the option to approve it, or I can go in and edit it or decline it. Once it's been approved, it will move to pay, and this gives me the option to pay it directly, like using an ABA file to my employee, or it will also allow me to perhaps just process that it has been paid. I have an All tab, which gives me an ability to see anything that I need to be looking at. And finally, I have an Explorer tab, which gives me some reports I can drill down on, either by account or by employee, so I can keep track of what expenses are being, spent on particular categories or by particular employees. Probably a very handy function to have further down the track when you have a lot of information in your program. So let's go and have a look at how we add a new expense. We'd simply say new expense, and we have the option to upload and to type our details in here. If this has come in automatically from the mobile app, it will all have a lot of this stuff already pre-populated for you, and you would simply go in and check it and make sure it's all okay and fix anything that might need to be fixed. But what I'm going to do is have a look at this one that I sort of started to do earlier. So I've actually uploaded a receipt here. It may not be the easiest receipt to read, but we'll just use it for the purposes of this demo. So the amount on the invoice is $12.99. We're going to probably code this to all to one particular account, but if we did want to itemize it, we can use the itemize button here, which will allow us to put more detail in. Let's go back in there. All right, so we'll start again. So we're going to put in $12.99. What is it? It's Australia Post. We'll just say it's postage for the benefit of this demo. So then at Australia Post. And the date, 28th of February. And we're going to put this to printing and stationery. We don't need to put a region in here. That's an option that stationery. Do we want to assign it to a customer, or do we want to put a label? If we're happy with that, we hit save. So it's sitting here in draft. If we're more than happy with that, again, we can hit submit. And now it's sitting there submitted, waiting for someone to approve it. Okay, so it's sitting over here in our review. We'll go in here, we can have a look at it, we can approve it, we can delete it, whatever you want to do. We hit approve, it will now be over here in pay, ready to pay. So if we want to pay, we might choose to pay all of the ones that relate to me. We hit pay all. And what it will do is it will take us into our purchases overview, and we can do this as a simple batch payment and pay those accounts. So we may want to do that straight out of our bank account. Put today's date and put Xero Expenses. Now, as you can see, I don't have a bank account here, so it's not going to allow me to create an ABA file. But if I did have a bank account details here, once I made the payment, I would be able to create an ABA file to upload that. So it's quite simple the way it works. Just one thing I wanted to point out, when you are in expenses, once you move it from submitted to review stage, that is when the invoice is created in the purchases part of the business of Xero. So as soon as you move to approve, it'll be sitting here under purchases waiting for you to pay that. So hopefully that's just given you a little bit of an idea of how Xero Expenses works, and feel free to ask us if you have any questions. Maybe give it a try for the 3 months and see if it's going to be valuable for your business. Thank you.